How you doing, everybody? Matt here with American Campfire Creations, and tonight I'm going to be making a cooking video showing you how to make chicken kebabs over a charcoal campfire. I'm going to be setting up my fire right over here by the lake, and then I'm going to go inside, show you guys all my prep of putting the kebabs together, ingredients I'm going to use, and then of course, like always, I'm going to be putting all that information down here in the description. I'm going to go ahead and get that started, but I wanted to go ahead and show everybody this beautiful sunset out here and a little bit on our boondocking site. As you can see, we're out here on this amazing lake. Got the RV here. Been doing some mountain biking around the lake. It's a beautiful area out here. It's Robert Lee, Texas. I'll put some information in the description below about this location in case, you're ever out this way and you want a free camping site. So gonna go ahead and go inside and get everything together. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up. So I'm over here in my fire pit, and I'm going to go ahead and get my charcoals going. The trick is with charcoal, if you want to get it to burn consistently and be hot enough for you to actually start cooking on, you want these to turn white, ashy, so that way you have all the red hot coal in the middle. And what you're going to do with the chimney here is stack it all up in there and then get an ignition source underneath on the bottom. And what it's going to do is it'll burn up through the coals themselves and get them nice and hot. And it keeps all that heat inside the chimney here. Get your coals ready real quick, about 10-15 minutes. And then what you'll do is you'll just lift this up and dump it down in here. But you want to kind of try and keep all the coals, once you dump it down in here, contained into one area that you're going to be doing your primary cooking on, so you can control your hot points. The fire pit here, it's a little large for what I really need, but we should be able to control this enough to be able to cook what it is I'm doing tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just let this burn up through, let these coals get nice and hot. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go inside and prep the kebabs. So you can see here how the coals actually have the fire coming all the way up through the chimney. And what we're gonna look for are these top coals right here are starting to turn white. But right now we got a perfect red hot coal combination all the way up through the chimney. So this is basically just about there, and I'm going to go ahead and dump it over. And what I did was, for my fire pit, I actually condensed it a little bit so that I can concentrate all my heat right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my grates right here, right over top of them. That way I can get a real nice hot spot right here, and I can just put my kebabs straight on there. And this will be perfect for getting that nice charred, smoky flavor without actually burning the ingredients on the sticks before the insides are actually done. Alright, so inside, and I got my veggies here. On the kebabs tonight, I'm going to do onion, sweet peppers, and mushrooms. So what I'll do with all this here is I'll go ahead and prep this up so that it's ready to go on, cut up my onion, and then I'll go ahead and prep the chicken and get it all on my skewers here. Alright, so I got my peppers and my mushrooms washed up here and de-stemmed. Gonna go ahead and prep my onion. So you want to, when you're cutting your onion, leave it fairly large. You want the curvature of the onion to actually go over the other veggies and chicken on there so that it cooks into whatever it's up against, and you get that nice flavor from the onion. Plus, you don't want this to be too skinny or whatnot, because you want to have room to be able to put your skewer down through there. So I got all my veggies prepped up here, and normally I would do some tomatoes as well on there just to give it a little bit more flavor and texture. But I decided just to do the peppers, onions, and mushrooms tonight with the chicken, and should still turn out really nice. Gonna end up, after this is all cooked up, put the kebabs over a bed of garlic rice, and should be a really nice hearty meal that'll last us a couple nights. But yeah, kebabs are definitely one of my favorites. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep up the chicken now. I'm going to go ahead and break these down into nice sized chunks so that way it can hold up to the size of my other veggies. Kind of want to keep everything sort of uniform, so I cut everything to about the same size. Remembering that the chicken here is actually going to shrink down as it cooks because of all the water that's in the meat. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this up to size. Alright, so with my kebabs, normally I would use the wooden skewers, but I ran out of those, so today I went out to the store and I bought these nice long metal skewers. And what I would do with the wood typically is I would soak them ahead of time. That way when you get all this put on the sticks and then you go to put them on the grill, the sticks have a tendency not to burn as easily if there's a lot of moisture inside the stick. I went ahead and got these metal ones so I never have to buy the wood ones again actually. And these are great because they're nice and long. I will probably be able to skewer all of this on just even 2 of them. And before I put the meat on, what I like to do is actually go ahead and pre-season it. Sometimes I'll even marinate it ahead of time if I know I'm going to be doing this the night before. So what I'm going to do here is some oil, some salt and pepper, and some garlic. I season these ahead of time so that way I know that they're getting evenly seasoned, as opposed to actually being on the skewer already, where you would only be getting one or the other side. This gets the entire piece of meat actually covered in flavor. I'm also going to put a little bit of dried rosemary on here as well because I really enjoy the flavor profile of rosemary and peppers together. So I'm going to go ahead and skewer these up. Alright, so now that we got all our kebabs skewered, I'm going to go ahead and squirt a little bit more oil on here and season again. So now that I got everything seasoned here, I'm going to go ahead and get my rice going because I'm putting it here in my rice cooker. And then take these out and get them on the grill, and by the time these are done grilling, my rice should be done and everything should be good. I'm back out here on the fire pit and my coals are perfect. I'm going to go ahead and dump these out. As you can see, nice and red, perfectly hot. It's going to cook up the kebabs easily. Go ahead and put my grates over. Quick wipe with my brush to clean off a little bit of residue that's left from the last stuff we cooked and get these kebabs on here. Okay, so grates are nice and clean. I went ahead and adjusted the height of my grates so that they're a little bit lower and closer to the coals. Sorry for the noise in the background. I had my generator running to be able to cook my rice in the rice cooker, but yeah, that's what it's like being out here in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, not quite the same as being at home and doing this, but we get it done. I mean, RV there in the background, nice fire pit here next to the lake. It's kind of hard to see now that the sun's went down. We just had a beautiful sunset right over here. So, all right, gonna go ahead and get my kebab. Nice sizzle is what you're looking for. Alright, so these are going to cook on each side probably a good 10 minutes in order to get these nice thick chunks of chicken to cook through, and have the peppers, mushrooms, and onions be nice and tender. Plus I'm looking for a nice color on these as well. The wood over here, believe it or not, will actually put off this nice smokiness that'll get into the meat here, plus the flavor of the charcoal down here. So this will be really nice meal tonight. Looking forward to these. So it's been about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and give these a flip and see how they're doing. I went ahead and turned this one. As you can see, I've got a really nice color going on the chicken here, except for this end, but that's because I didn't have it quite over the coals. So what I'm going to have to do here is actually make sure that from end to end I'm actually getting it over the heat source. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these and see how the color's doing on them. Yeah, so you can see here how I have an even charring across the whole kebab from onion all the way to chicken, and it's getting a really nice color on there. Everything's cooking up nice and even. Mushrooms are getting nice and tender. Onions are getting nice and cooked into the chicken itself, which you can see here is getting done. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the rest of these and give it another about 10 to 12 minutes to cook all the way, to get everything nice and evenly cooked. I got all my kebabs browned on every side. Everything's looking nice and tender with the veggies. I've got that 165 temp on my pieces of chicken, and I have a nice color on those as well. As you can see, the fire held up pretty nice. There's still a good bit of smoke coming off there, which I'm letting the kebabs sort of soak up some of that flavor. And yeah, gonna go ahead and get these off and get them inside and see how they turned out. Everything is in off the grill. As you can see here in the better light, the kebabs turned out really nice. Good browning on the chicken. Veggies are nice and tender. Rice turned out really good. We're going to go ahead and just pull these off the skewers right over the rice. Put a little bit of parsley over top. And yeah, nice little easy meal. Like I said, I'll put the ingredients and the procedure of doing all this down in the description below. And yeah, while you're there, go ahead and check out some of my other playlists. And you can view some of my other videos here. And I will see all of you around the next campfire. Be easy, everybody.